And I think we're back with the Vacuous perspective for another week. I'm Val, and I'm joined always by Nate. Nate, how are you?
I'm pretty well, Val. How are you?
Yeah, all right. Here we go. You said it earlier. Before we were recording, you said it.
About it being Saturday?
Yeah, and what a time to be alive.
Yeah, it always is. It always is quite a time, yeah.
Yes. I was actually seated on my couch last night playing some Nintendo Switch bowling online competitively.
Yes.
And I thought to myself, it is quite amazing that we have this opportunity to be alive.
The more you think about it, the weirder it gets, doesn't it?
It's quite strange.
Mm.
And it's something that you really should tackle first thing on a Saturday morning.
Well, it's such a beautiful day as well.
Isn't it? I haven't seen it yet, but I can tell.
Oh, it's stunning. The big fish has been in the pool.
We've probably had very different mornings. All right, let's break it down. You've been in the pool.
Yeah, I did a cheeky 5K.
5Ks.
And then I walked down to the cafe to get a coffee, and I've had some breakfast, and now I'm here. Had to fish my brother's jury duty demand out of the mail. He lives up he's in Broome now, actually. And he had caught wind that his address for, I don't know why, his address for certain purposes is still my place because he used to live here. And so certain things come, and all his mail, and very occasionally he gets mail, and I just store it away in this little drawer with the intention of giving it to him one day. And then I never do. I see him occasionally, but I never give him his mail. So I had to start fishing through, just opening up letters randomly, committing several felonies. And I found he had a $20 check from the government. It was from the Electoral Commission. Why would you get a $20 check from the Electoral Commission?
Maybe just guessing. Disputing a fine, maybe, like for not voting.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's the only thing that I think costs that much.
Yeah, but
and it's anything the Electoral Commission would.
Yeah, it seems weird, doesn't it? Anyway, that was from 2020. But yeah, I was just opening letters randomly.
Great.
A bit jealous. Maybe I can try and cash that in. How do you cash a check? You just walk into the bank, show some ID.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Have you ever cashed in a check? I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, I have. But not many times. Not as many as that you'd like to think from watching the movies.
Yes.
They're cashing checks left, right, and centre.
Yeah, and writing checks. And they're writing
cashing checks, writing checks.
And you never have the money. Have you noticed that? It seems like in The Simpsons, they're writing checks. You know, you can write whatever you want, right? Write it on a piece of paper. It's like an IOU, really.
It is.
With more legal effect.
You can take my money.
I wonder what you would be able to just, as long as you have, I haven't read there's a check act in WA.
But checks are brilliant, aren't they?
They're brilliant. And I reckon you wouldn't have to have a checkbook. I don't know. Do you reckon you could just hand draft as long as you have the right words on there?
No.
No?
No, I don't think so.
I'll give you a check.
But people would want to see it get ripped out of the checkbook. That's part of the ritual. Is the ripping the check out and giving it to the person. Yes.
Isn't it? But what about this? I'll look into it. Okay, I'll do some homework. I'll write the homework down, but I never actually do it. The homework from last week, let me just check. I like to review it to know what I haven't done. Oh, why
don't you write me a check?
Yeah, I'll write you a check. I'll hand write a check that I think is legally valid on a Post-it note.
And we'll see it.
Yeah, and then I'll give it to you. You go in to try and cash it in. You'll look like it will look bad for you. The optics won't look good.
Right, I've got the shit job here. Okay.
Yeah, but I have to research to make it legally valid so you're not embarrassed when you walk in there.
Great.
So the homework from last week was the podcast world record.
Yes.
So we didn't do that, I don't think.
Well, no. Okay. No, we didn't. No, we haven't done a 56-hour podcast yet.
I don't recall doing it.
No, but that would be a world record. And even just saying it feels like we've achieved something.
I've got another. Well, maybe we could do the world record for the biggest check attempted to be cashed in. So I can give you like a
yeah. Who's the current holder? Who's the competition? Yeah.
Oh, and the other homework was you were going to look up the world record for crying. You were going to look at some videos.
Yeah, I was meant to look. Well, no.
It's all right. It's all right. We don't actually ever do the homework. So I'll tell you what the homework was from episode 38.
Go on.
We're going to look into Australian megafauna.
Yeah, that was the first hook, I think. I think that was the first time we ended on a cliffhanger and then just never addressed it again.
Actually, you're right, because as I'm flicking back, that's the first bit of homework that we ever recorded.
Yeah, I remember it.
Oh, that was just luck that I switched to that one, because I always do that now.
Oh, I thought you must have been searching through a transcript or something to find the word homework.
No, at the bottom of I have a little notepad, right? It's if you open it up, it's A4. So what's that? A5? It's an A5 notepad.
Okay.
Because A3 is double A4, so A5's half A4. I don't know. Anyway, I have pics on one side, so I write down the pics from the episode, and I write down the topics of conversation on the right-hand side. But that's always shorter than the page. So right at the bottom of the right-hand side, I write down the homework. And I have seen something that's caught my eye, because I call myself the big fish now. That's for 2 weeks running. I'm trying to get that going.
Yeah.
Now, I've got homework here. It just says Big Fish in brackets Tim Burton. Did you mention, what was that?
It's about? A movie.
I wanted to see it. You must have mentioned it.
Oh, well, I think it's probably more relevant now, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah. I think so. I watched it a long time ago. In the episode, I probably said it's a great movie. Yeah, look, I would watch it if I'd never seen it. I think it's a good watch. But I think there's a lot of movies like that. Yeah, have you seen that one where Robin Williams goes to hell or something?
No, I have not.
Mate, that's worth watching once.
Okay, and what's it called?
From Where Dreams Came.
When did you watch it?
Oh, when I was in my 20s.
How did this come up?
What do you mean? Now, right now?
Yeah. What's your thought process?
It's a movie that I've seen once, loved the experience of it, didn't watch it again.
And it's called From Where Dreams
Something
Came.
like that. From Where Dreams, something like that.
Yeah.
Robin
Where
Williams.
Where do dreams come from?
What?
ABC Science.
No, that's not it. That's probably a Dr. Carl thing. Is it Dr. Carl? Is that his name?
Yeah, it is Dr. Carl. Dr.
Yeah,
Carl
that's funny because Neighbours has a Dr. Carl as well.
Do they? Oh.
Yeah, Neighbours. Isn't he Dr. Carl as well?
I don't know. I'm not really full bottle on Neighbours.
No, I can't remember.
Can we do a quick call to your mum?
A what?
A quick call to your mum.
Oh, definitely not. Let me Google that though. It is Carl. It is Carl.
Is it?
From Neighbours. Come on, man. It's Carl.
What? I can't find this movie. Have you just made this up? Have you made this up in your dream?
Yeah, Carl Kennedy. He's Dr. Carl Kennedy.
What Dreams May Come.
That's it. What did I say? From Where Dreams Came.
Okay.
Yeah, What Dreams May Come.
Into the homework. I actually, under Big Fish here in episode 40, I was going to release 1 digit of my credit card each week.
That's a really good one, yeah. That'd be fun.
I then do the expiry, I then do the CCV, whatever the fuck it's called. And then the idea is if whoever our most dedicated listener is...
They can write themselves a check.
Buy themselves something nice. I have a lot of comfort if I did this, because I reckon the chances are it'd probably be only like your mum or something that would get to the point of getting all the digits. And anyone that goes to the effort of getting all the data, I think knows me well enough that they're not going to steal all my money.
Sure.
I think
you're putting this on the internet for public consumption.
Yeah, but when you say on the internet, I mean, No,
but it's out there.
It's out there. Yes.
Okay.
Is it really out there?
No, let's do the maths. Okay. What is? I can't ask for the expiry, right, of the thing, but how long's the card going to be active for, maximum?
It expires 2025.
Well, you've already given away I didn't want you. Yeah, we're not giving away the month. Anyway, yes.
August.
Okay, great. No, don't give away the month. All I'm trying to do is work out how long, because if you did that, there is a chance it could go really bad. But
yeah,
if we can just get to the expiry date, whatever that is.
Yeah, how much damage can you do if I release it, a week before the last
I
digit?
wouldn't do it the week before, because if you do it the week before, people know that there's a bit going on. People know that it's coming to the end. You have to just put it out there.
Mm. Because if you're committing fraud, if you've got someone's credit card details, you don't want to go too ham early because they'll notice. I think you want to start integrating in some kind of subscription type, a smaller amount that they don't question, and subconsciously they may have seen the transaction before, so they go, oh yeah, that one, that's always there.
Or it's doubling down on something you already have.
Yeah, call it like an account fee, $5.
Yeah, or they could just grab Netflix or whatever, and you'd see Netflix come out, and you'd be like, yeah, I pay for Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix monthly account fee.
2 weeks later, Netflix comes out again, and you're like, yeah, I pay for Netflix. No, I pay for Netflix. This is fine.
Yeah, so no, the first digit is a 4 for all those listening.
Yeah, great. And I don't think you should have to say, if you don't want to make the full risk of going, and the next number is 7, right? If you don't want to do that, throughout the episode, you might say the number 97 just as a number. You might say, let's say there was 97 people there. Mm. And people go, oh, wait, is that the number for this week?
Like they did in the Bible.
Is that the number for this week? It's encoded, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good one.
That's just if you want to have, A, less risk, and B, a little bit of fun with it.
What was that insane Easter egg that BMX game encoded?
BMX game?
There's like a a motorcycle game or something.
Yeah, you're talking about Trials HD.
Trials HD. And I watched a video on YouTube that was sort of shocked. Because there's some kind of community of people that explore these Easter eggs, right?
It's sort of similar to Cicada 3301.
It was an incredible story. I don't know if it was legit, but it was making some... Can you give me a summary of what was going on with that?
It's funny because every game that they've done of the Trials series has this overarching mystery involved.
Also, they always do it every time they release a new iteration.
Trials HD is the first one.
Oh, okay.
And they encoded a mystery into the game.
And they came out and said, the game creators said that they did encode a mystery.
No.
Is that correct? No.
The game guys responded to someone saying, I think I've solved it. And they said, yes, you did.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So they acknowledged that it existed. It exists. After the fact, after someone has come through. It's a bit like The Simpsons where they put certain Easter eggs in and they waited for the public to record the episode on VCR, pause it, have a look at it, and then they would write in, and they were waiting. Sometimes the creators put something out there into the public and they wondered, how long is it going to be? Or will anyone notice and get in contact with us about this? And sure enough people watch The Simpsons. There's enough psychopaths out there, mathematician nerds, that just see something that catches their eye. That's why I think if we did do an Easter egg, but we need more viewers, listeners.
No. As long as it's out there forever, it doesn't matter. Like, the mystery doesn't have to be solved.
I wonder how many mysteries are out there. I wonder how many unexplored tombs and artifacts and things like that. Man, that is sexy, isn't it?
Yeah, lots.
So many.
And you still got the universe to explore.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's cool. That's all cool, but that's a bit much for me right now. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you know, in the future, the scientists press the scan button at the scan HQ, and they go, "We found ancient alien settlements everywhere," because they press the scan button.
Oh, they'll be long gone, right?
Yeah.
Chances are civilizations only last for so long.
True, and I guess the time, the space numbers aspect of it means that a lot of time's going to have passed. Therefore, probably nothing there at all.
Because they say humans have been in our form, our exact structure and brain function for around, I think it's 300,000 years at the moment. But the world is 4.5 billion years old. I'm having trouble with the zeros here. Okay, there's 4. Just trying to get a sense, because it's not much. I hear the expression that if you hold your arms straight out, and that is the whole, and that represents the length of your arms represents the whole of the world's history, existence of 4.5 billion. Humans have existed. The scale of human existence is the nails on one of your fingertips. So if the beginning is the beginning, the fingertips on your nail,
it's not a lot, is it?
Of your nail. Yeah, it's a fraction of a fraction, really.
Yes.
It's a fraction of a bee's dick. The bees are back.
What you're saying there is there's a lot of time in there.
Yeah.
So much time between... Well, obviously not much was happening in the first, let's say, 40% of the whole thing, right? Your elbow to the start of your forearm, there's not a lot going on except for extreme turmoil.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing living. There wasn't the chance for anyone to build a VCR back then.
Not a lot of tech, was there?
Presumably. The Earth was just a very hostile environment at that time. I don't think much was living. Then you get your vents. You get your thermo vents.
It's funny how we say not a lot of tech, but nature creates some crazy tech.
Does it?
Well, photosynthesis, like what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's some great technology.
That is unbelievable, isn't it? Like, that is some serious creating chemical energy from,
light.
Heat, light. Yeah, light. It's pretty cool. And then
they're very different to us, aren't they? The plants. It's probably why we feel so okay eating them.
Yeah,
cutting them down.
Do plants eat other plants?
You know, the obvious one from the Disney movies and stuff.
Yeah, they compete, but they don't really eat each other, do they?
Well, what about a Venus flytrap? Would that eat another plant? Probably not.
That eats flies.
Yeah. But would it nip at a nearby plant if it happened to be next to a really juicy looking leaf? Do you reckon it would have a little snap at it? I've never seen it.
No,
they're predatorial only.
Not interested.
Not interested.
I believe they want the nutrients, particularly the nitrogen that exists inside the fly. Okay,
so the fly lands on the nearby plant, have a crack, or leave it because you don't want to risk the chance of getting some lettuce.
Oh, have a crack.
Have a crack. But what are they doing? Are they sensing it where it is? Because they don't have eyes. A Venus flytrap doesn't have eyes.
Yeah, but are they conscious? I don't know. Well, no, they're not conscious the way we would say, but they're aware of their surroundings, aren't they?
Well, they react. They do.
They grow towards the man. I'm totally into the sun again. Hey.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. You know how the sunflowers and stuff move towards the sun. That's just good evolution. They're just trying to get as much of that juicy light as possible.
Let me send you something because send you a link in general. It's about the sun.
Yeah, no, I'm all on board with the sun, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you're on board. But have you seen this thing? It just looks real sexy. Check out the time lapse. It's going to freak you out.
I've already. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, I'm watching it. Oh my god.
cool. I don't know how they made that. There'd be an explanation. But apparently they have found that the sun is between 0.03% and 0.07% smaller than we thought.
How much percent?
0.03%.
Oh my God. How did they fuck this up so bad?
Yeah, well, apparently we just...
No, what are they doing, man? You've had a gutful of Maxwell last week. I've had a gutful of the scientists.
Well, someone in the 1970s said it was 695,990 kilometres, and we just took their word for it.
Little did we know. It's pretty similar to that.
It's just, nature is incredible. Nature, we got plant life is incredible, but then you start going into the cosmos, and it gets even weirder. So the sun, Elon dropped a bit of a bomb on me the other day. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he said that the sun, I fact-checked this because it almost sounded like a lie, is converting 4 billion kilos of matter into energy every second. Do you know E equals MC squared? That old...
Sure. Another one where they just wrote it down and we went, all right.
Yeah, because he said 4 million tons. And I was like...
Yeah, but that's a space number. But what's it doing? Converting mass into energy.
Yes. That's what a nuclear bomb does.
Yeah.
And so I looked up what's the largest thermonuclear device ever detonated.
Yeah, that's the Sarah bomb.
Yes, and so we got that converted 4.6 kilos of mass directly into raw energy.
Yes.
The sun does 4 billion kilos.
Yeah.
So we're a factor of a billion.
Yeah, from dropping the sun on ourselves.
And we think we're good at tech. We think we're good at technology.
Well, I will say this. If it's about a brightness contest, if it's for the flytraps and the sunflowers of the world, those early nuclear bombs produced light that was brighter than the sun.
Oh, we're going for is that right, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe, is it because we're closer or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
It doesn't really make
I don't know
sense.
why. And I know it doesn't make sense.
I mean, if a bomb goes off in your face, in the second Dune book,
yeah,
what's his name? Paul Atreides, a nuclear bomb or something equivalent goes off in his face and it blinds him. Spoiler alert. But because he can see the future, he can see what's going on around him. So he can still call out people about, what the fuck are you doing, mate? Like, stop giving me the finger. And they're like, how does he know that? Because he can see the future and things are still going along the trajectory that nothing has changed the trajectory as far as he understands it's going. So he can still see everything, but kind of like Daredevil can echolocate or something like that and still have some it's like pseudo vision.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he is echolocating. I think that's just how the film chooses to represent his vision, because it'd be a really boring movie if from every time it's his perspective, it's just nothing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is going to be done. Apparently they are doing the second Dune book as a movie because Dune 2 is going to come out. Apparently the last I heard was March next year because of the Hollywood strikes.
Yeah, the writer's strikes.
Are they still going?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. That's nice. What was the resolution?
I have no idea. I just know it's over.
They were asking for a permanent, perpetual ban on AI being able to used in the writing process. So the producers or whatever.
Probably in a lot of processes.
And they were never going to agree to that.
Well, I have no idea what happened.
No.
But I will just circle back to these nukes real quick because it does say the fireball glows visibly from its own heat. So visibly that the early stages of a 1 megaton fireball are many times brighter than the sun, even at a distance of 50 miles. So you're talking about local light. And then I scrolled down a bit because it says here, would a nuke do anything to the sun? Which is a really, it's we already know the answer, don't we?
Well, I would think no, but there would be some minimal effect. I don't know what it would be. What's it say?
It says absolutely nothing. Or more properly, if we could turn the entire Earth into a nuke and manage to launch it to the sun, the blast would be so negligible that it would seem like nothing happened.
Wow. Turn the whole Earth into a nuke. So what, converting all the energy?
I guess convert the mass into nuclear output.
Because we've touched on this before, but the E equals MC squared formula.
Yeah, the riddle.
The what?
The riddle.
The riddle is interesting because the C in that is the speed of light, which is a big, big number.
I know. Space number.
Yeah, it's a space number. So you're putting a space number, a constant, into this E. So energy and mass are equivalent. They're just different forms of the same thing. So what I like to say, I've heard this explained to me, that mass is crystallized or condensed energy. So energy is kind of this massless thing. It can be light. It can be, so I find energy quite an abstract concept. Right, so you got this energy floating out there in the ether in a way, and then the mass is more of a physical. So it's almost like the solid form of energy. So I think of energy being equivalent. I know this is a bad analogy, but equivalent to a gas in a way, because you can't see it. Well, you can see a very small portion of it, but very small. The visible spectrum is like another bee's dick of the whole spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. And then it's the speed of light, which is a big number, and then you square it. You square that bad boy. So let's take one of the biggest numbers you can think of.
I'll go with 360,000.
Is it meters per second or I think it's kilometers per second. I think it's 300,000 kilometers per second.
No.
Or is it meters per second? I think it's kilometers per second.
No.
I should know what the speed of light is. Yeah, it's kilometers per second. So it's 300 million meters per second.
That's too fast.
And then you square that. That is like, what the fuck? What is 300 million times by 300 million? I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if a computer can figure that out.
You'd hope it can.
Yes, that's the sun. So I'm back into sun worshipping about once a month or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just get into it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a legit thing to worship because it does the life stuff. Without it, we can't exist.
But you forget about it because it's always there.
And you're not allowed to look at it.
Yeah, it is a bit like God in a way. It's sort of omnipresent.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look at him.
Don't look at it.
Don't even draw him.
You can draw him, usually with a happy face. And we found out that he has got a happy face a while ago when they showed the sun smiling picture that you had from. Yeah, imagine if it's a bit crazy, but he's seen us down here drawing pictures of him smiling, and he's like, you know what, chuck it on. It's just a big LED like the Sphere in Vegas. Have you seen the Sphere? Yeah, it's like that. They just like change it to smiley face. Although I just watched your time-lapse video of the sun from Portugal and new smiles.
No, but I think it's almost cooler. It's more psychedelic than a smiling sun. Like the smiling sun is a bit childish in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And to humanize the sun is a very human-centric approach. It's its own thing. It's a furry. It looks furry, doesn't it? And so all the there's a lot of magnetic shit going on. I don't really know what's going on up there.
Well, lots of tonnage of mass to energy by the sounds of it.
4 billion kgs a second.
And that's its primary function, right? That's what it's doing the most of.
Exploding.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about Oppenheimer now when is it Cillian or Cillian Murphy? I don't know what his name is.
Is that the actor? Is it?
That's the main character who's playing Oppenheimer. I just remember when he's time traveling in his chair at the start of the movie, just seeing suns exploding.
Oh yeah,
because I think he was imagining sort of fission.
Yeah.
Oh,
very active brain, that man.
Yeah.
Well, our quest to become a sun one day has taken a big step forward because SpaceX has been cleared for its November 17th, for its second launch on 17 November. It's got the regulatory approvals.
Right. Offerings to the sun god. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, we want to become multi-planetary. Once we're multi-planetary, maybe, just maybe, one day we'll become a celestial body like a sun or something. Is that the ultimate goal? I'm not sure.
To become a planet.
To become a sun.
Why a sun?
Well, the Egyptians always wanted to be a star. So
yes.
Isn't that the ultimate goal in the end?
Wow, it must be. I didn't know this, but yeah, I guess it is. Fuck,
I'm not really sure.
We're all gonna. What does that mean? A population of billions as suns. Like, can the universe handle 100 billion more stars?
What happens if the sun has a consciousness? Like we're saying, a plant has is conscious in the way it reacts to its surroundings. What happens if all matter has consciousness, and the sun somehow has feelings or whatever consciousness is?
I think you'd have to start by saying that the Earth is conscious.
Let's start there.
Because the sun is conscious would only make sense if the Earth was also conscious, and the moon and whatever else, and all the space rocks. Essentially, everything would have to be conscious.
Would it be boring to be a star, or do you think it feels good?
I think it would be a lot like this. I don't think there's a lot going on.
Oh man, maybe just for one day. I reckon.
You come out, you can't speak. You come out, you can't speak, you can't talk anymore.
Oh, but maybe it feels good to be converting all that mass into energy. Maybe that feels really nice.
Maybe. You'd hope so. If it feels like shit, that'd be awful.
But I'm glad that we're leaving this planet because it's pretty cooked. I mean, we're not going to make it. Like this, speaking of this conscious planet, it's fucked. It knows it's fucked. It's just
when you were talking about the approvals and stuff, what are you talking about? Where are they going?
The FAA,
where are they going? Are they going Moon or Mars? Because
we're just
Moon's local.
This thing's we're just trying to get this thing airborne. This is the most powerful rocket ever made. Twice as powerful as anything that's ever left this planet. So we're trying to get bulk mass. And this thing's made to be fully reusable, by the way. I know we blew it up last time. It wasn't reusable on that occasion.
Yeah, they knew that though. Yeah.
Designed to be fully reusable. This is a game changer, and we need to get off this dump.
It's not a dump.
We need to expedite this shit. No, we fucked this one up. We did. I mean, and those salamanders or whatever they were worried about, like, they're not going to make it. Like, fuck them off as well. We don't need that evolutionary path. It's a dead end. It was a good try. Like, if the shoe was on the other foot, and the salamanders are trying to become a celestial body, ultimately.
Right, that is a pretty lofty goal, yes.
They're not going to worry about us. They're not going to worry about this, inferior species. So, look, I'm all for it. Let's get this big boy out there. I'm going to watch it. I think it's 17th November. What day is that?
Today.
Oh, shit. What's the update? What is the update?
Let's have the update, please. Are we watching this live?
Well, sorry, they got the clearance. I don't know if they decided to launch on that date. Or I did see Elon posted something on Twitter saying that they had to push it back a day because something, something. What could possibly go wrong with the rocket? Something did, though.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Launch update. Upcoming launch. Oh, I'm not getting a clear answer on this one.
Okay, Starship and Super Heavy are ready at the launch pad in Starbase. Saturday, November 18 for Starship's second integrated flight test.
So it'll be later today.
No, because
they're
our November 18 is their November 17. So if they're talking about November 18, it's morning. Possible that it's tomorrow. It's possible.
We'll have to watch it because I watched the last one. It was quite exciting.
I did too. I've still got the recording of me watching it.
The recording of you watching it?
Yeah, I watched it with my brother, and I just recorded my screen as I was doing it. So I was
awesome.
Yeah.
It's 121 meters tall, which is almost as tall as the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is pretty bloody big.
Yeah, which you have a recent reference point on.
Yeah, it's ginormous. So I think that's about a 30-story building.
Yeah, that's big, isn't it? And we just pop a rocket on it. Get it up out of here.
I know the US military has given Lockheed Martin a whole bunch of money, I don't know, $40 million to develop a nuclear spacecraft. That's back on the agenda.
Oh, wow.
I've been trying to, for some reason, we've talked about nuclear spacecraft for decades.
Yep. And the nuke car, don't forget about our nuke car.
The nuke car.
Yeah.
Everything should be on nuclear.
Pop a reactor. Yeah, your phone should have a nuclear reactor in it.
Nuclear watch.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be the occasional meltdown, but...
Yes.
That's the price of progress.
Yes. So what are we talking here with this nuclear-powered spacecraft? Are we talking about like grab a Falcon Heavy, or indeed the new one, Starship, and launch a spaceship into space, and then once it's up there, that's when you use the nuclear thing to do the engines to just kick around.
I mean, nuclear, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I'm going to go out there on a limb and say it's all pretty straightforward stuff. But what you're thinking is probably just about right, I'd say.
So powers the engines.
I don't know. So Lockheed Martin has this thing called the Joint Emergent Technology supplying on-orbit nuclear.
Yes.
Okay? It's called Jetson.
Yes.
Jetson. And I like that because it reminds me of George Jetson.
That's what it was meant to do. But yes.
Jetson aims to launch a fission reactor that will be started up once in space.
Wow.
The reactor will generate heat, which is then transferred to Stirling power converters to produce electricity. This can then be used to power spacecraft payloads or electric thrusters for propulsion.
Interesting. Putting nuclear reactors in space. Hell.
It was always going to happen. We have to harness the atom, surely.
Does sound pretty efficient, doesn't it?
I mean, I prefer the nuclear stuff to be in space than on
Down
Earth.
here?
I think we should get all the nuclear reactors into space.
Up in space.
Get them up there.
Yeah.
Nuclear fission development for space application is key to introducing technologies that could dramatically change how we move and explore the vastness of space.
Yeah.
That's what Jetson
Can you
is.
imagine if you just buy a space car? It's like a jet car. It's like a jet ski.
Mm.
You pay the money, they launch it into space for you, and it's sort of moored up there.
Mm.
And whenever you want, or whenever you have the dollary dues to go up to your space car, then you can go and have a little bit of a whip around up there. Just a little whip in your nuke plane thing, you know?
Sounds.
You can get on the waiting list
I'd
now
like
if you
to,
want.
yeah.
I'm taking orders.
Oh, man, you'll have 200 billion just lined up like all those other companies just seem to get. It's funny. So on Jetson, Lockheed will work with Space Nuclear Power Corp, in bracket Space Nukes, and BWX Technologies, both of which have expertise in nuclear power and reactor design. Why is it in brackets Space Nukes? What is that referring to? I don't want to work with a company that is like known as space nukes. Oh, so Space Nuclear Power Corp. Anyway, space nukes. Sounds dangerous, that's all. I mean, that's like calling your company...
But at the moment, all the nukes are on Earth. They're Earth nukes at the moment. They sound dangerous too.
We got plenty of those.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the White House also released some... Where is it? The White House did something about this week. They released some regulations about... Let me find it. The White House lays out possible rules for private space stations. This is just this week. So, I mean, they're thinking about it. They're laying out some rules.
Great.
And the ISS is retiring in 2030 as well, which will come around pretty quick.
Bringing it down?
Yeah, it's being deorbited in 2031.
Wow.
So apparently the European Space Agency is sort of getting on board with this thing called Starlab. They've signed a memorandum of understanding.
Love those.
And it's going to focus on science and tech. So it's the same thing, just a better one.
Better one, newer.
Going up. Apparently that's going up no earlier than 2027.
Right, so they've had a bit of a transitionary period. But the ISS has been up there forever. They've been building modules on that for ages. They've been adding things up until recently.
Yeah, they keep adding to it. But I suppose they still have 7 years left.
And then they're going to just deorbit the sucker. Now, I've played a bit of Kerbal and you know a bit about space stuff. So is it built of something that is just going to break up in the atmosphere, or has it got appropriate sort of shields for heat and be able to take it and therefore be a bit of a problem on the way down?
It's a good question. I know they were worried about Starlab. It was called Starlab, that one that burned.
Skylab.
Skylab. I was going to say, I was like, are we doing another? Are we doing like Skylab? Okay.
This is what I'm saying, because this has got to be bigger than Skylab now because it's been up there for so long.
Far bigger. I just hope that, I think they just try and pop it into the ocean as best they can.
Yeah.
Maybe little bits and pieces. Because that's
Except
what they tried
Skylab
to do with Skylab.
over Australia.
Yeah, they whoopsied that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty hard to know. There's a lot of variables when you're deorbiting something that's traveling at 17,000 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. Excuses.
But yeah. No, Starship. It's going. Boca Chica Beach, Texas. That sounds fancy. Sounds like a resort.
So, they're going to go for it probably tomorrow by the looks of it.
I'm excited. I didn't even realise. When I heard the date 17 November, it sounded like such a big a date in the future.
It probably was, but just very, very close future.
Very close future. So now I don't have to wait too long about it. Did you hear about that guy that bled out on the death in ice hockey?
Yeah, I did.
Wait, what did I say then? The guy who bled out.
You bled out on the death at ice hockey. I knew exactly what you meant. Yeah, I saw the incident, yes.
It was really grim. I saw it as well, and I had to click the warning that I was okay with it, which sort of creeps me out.
Yeah, because you're not okay by watching that then.
Well, because I knew that he died. That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, man.
He goes to the bench, and he is like, he's losing a lot of blood.
I didn't see any of that. All I saw was the foot getting raised, the old mate skating alongside, like up to him to check him, but then he just sort of, I don't know, does a little.
It looks weird, doesn't it? It doesn't.
Does a little raised leg move. And just clips him in the neck.
I've never seen it. It looks like a bit of a karate kick.
Yeah, I don't know what your intent is there. Is it to like get him in the chest or something?
But even then, I've never seen anything like it.
I get it. But they have ruled it like completely accidental, right?
He's been arrested for manslaughter.
No, he hasn't.
Yes, he has.
Holy shit.
Just recently.
I saw
the goalie get his jugular sliced open once, but that was, he's on the ground. Like, the goalies kind of dive they put their body on the line, and the forward or whatever, they just try and carry momentum into the goals, because sometimes you can take the goals with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's sort of weird like that. You just sort of, they were just trying to bully it all in there. Anyway, his skate got caught up with the goalie's neck a little bit and he started bleeding, and one of the physios, I believe, came out and stuck their finger into the jugular and saved the guy's life.
Wow.
But this guy wasn't so lucky because
No.
I think he got like proper sliced open. So I don't know how that one's going to go down. I don't understand how the manslaughter charge works like this. I think it's, if you're being so reckless, it's like driving a car recklessly and killing someone, right? You're still responsible for what happens. This guy was not in control of his skates. Like, I've never seen anything. I don't watch a lot of ice hockey, but I've never seen someone's leg raised like that.
Well, I don't know how professional was the league.
I think it was pretty professional.
Yeah, I know. I think it was pretty professional. It looks like a pretty dangerous game.
Who are the Nottingham Panthers? That's the team that he was playing for. The guy that died.
They're an English team, right?
Didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, British professional ice hockey. But you are racing around at high speed with a knife on your feet.
A couple of knives, yeah.
There are other instances. A couple of years ago, a guy got hit in the head by a puck.
Was he okay? How do you hit in the head? Dead.
Yeah, I was looking up other deaths in ice hockey, and unfortunately, it starts in like, because it's quite an old game, it starts in like 1903. The records begin.
Oh, so maybe they weren't wearing helmets at that time.
No, it was horse riding accidents. It was influenza.
It's a big one.
On ice chest injury. That sounds pretty significant. That sounds like he received that on the ice, which is what he says. Accidental stick blow to the head on a guy from another team. Killed the guy.
So no death by the knives yet?
Yeah, I imagine. It's really hard, man, because the list is hundreds of people long. I'm only up to 1905. What?
How many people have died in MMA? Has there been?
A couple,
okay, there has been MMA deaths.
Yeah.
Okay. I assume there would be because it's a combat sport, for God's sake. They
Absolutely.
don't have any knives.
No, they don't have weapons. This says a guy named Owen McCourt died in 1907. Murder charges were laid against the other players in the game. There were no convictions. Wow. Yep, skull fracture, pneumonia, tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. TB.
But it is pretty rare for what I would think is a pretty dangerous game. Like, not only is the puck moving at high speed, can clip you, but you're also trying to beat the living shit out of each other with your sticks.
Yeah, you're armed to the teeth, aren't you? Really? And you're allowed to fight as well.
Yeah, well, they don't.
They don't stop it. It's part of.
It's weird, isn't it?
The game, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because we're semi used to that because in AFL back in our youth, like punch-ons were pretty reg.
Yeah, jumper punches seem to be pretty much
okay.
Allowed.
Yeah, and a bit of like the element that if you're giving, you're also taking some. You know, if it's a fair exchange.
Yeah, you got to fight back.
If they punch you and you punch them, the umpire goes, well, that cancels each other out. That's a 0.
Well, the cricket death was pretty confronting.
Yes,
when that guy got
Phil
hit.
Hughes, yeah.
Yeah, Phil Hughes, that's it. Because they're talking about making these neck guards compulsory. And
yes.
It did remind me of the Phil Hughes situation because I think they now have a little bit on the back of the helmet. Like once someone dies, particularly in a high profile, yeah, this was in the highest form of cricket. Yeah, but that's surprising. It's a bit like MMA. I was just having a quick look. There seems to be there's been deaths in sanctioned MMA fights, but nothing, from what I can tell, it looks like there's been 6 on Wikipedia in sanctioned fights. but none of them seem to be in a league that I'm familiar with.
What are they mainly in that list? Are they heart failure and stuff?
Look, it's like a paragraph for each one, so it's hard to say.
Right.
Oh, he collapsed backstage. Doesn't count? Oh, no, he was TKO'd in the second round. Okay. And then
if you get knocked out and then you
fight,
die, we can
counts.
say that MMA had something to do with it, yeah.
Yeah, so Australia through the World Cup final. Cricket.
Yes, in the cricket.
That's exciting.
Yes.
I haven't watched
that
any
guy,
of the
John
games.
Boy? You know John Boy?
Oh,
he's that American guy. He does a lot of baseball videos, breakdowns. Really smart guy. He did a video about Glenn Maxwell's 200.
Oh, did he?
And
is it good?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's okay. He I got to see a hell of a lot more. Like, I got to see those drop catches that you were talking about.
Yeah, how many were there, do you reckon?
3.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But one of them was, like you said, throw a kid a bag of lollies, they'll catch it. It was
pretty bad.
One of them was that bad. And it was early because they just kept letting him get away with it.
When did the ground
But the
first
flat-footed nature of some of those boundaries, just the planted feet, see you later ones, pretty wild.
Yeah. Stick cricket stuff. It looked weird.
Backyard cricket stuff.
Yeah. That he got the highest score for an Australian ever in a one day.
Yeah, how does that happen?
And also, it
means that 250 is possible. It means that 260 is possible.
It's opened up a whole new world, hasn't it?
Because we're watching an injured man who has to lie down and shake for uncontrollably every now and then.
I reckon he could have laid down on his back and still just be slogging sixes the way he was going. Okay. So Australia beat South Africa during the week in the semi, which was surprising because apparently to beat South Africa, you got to bat first. That's what the statistics were suggesting. And South Africa won the toss and batted. So I thought that was going to put Australia on the back foot to begin with.
And it was also, there was a threat of rain, like that the game could get rained out.
I was told during the day that there was some
threatening.
Conditions, very threatening. And it was likely to be rained out, but somehow...
It looked fucking hot too.
Did it? Oh, I didn't actually see any of it.
It looked hotter when the Aussies were batting.
So I saw a little bit of it.
They were sweating it out.
And I hear Kohli was averaging 99, which is very Bradman-esque. He had 200s and 550s from 9 innings, and then he scored another century.
Wow.
Overtaking Tendulkar for the most centuries in ODIs in history.
That's right.
Which is a pretty good effort because when you actually see who's next on the list, it's daylight between Kohli and Tendulkar, and next up, I think it's Sharma, the Indian captain.
Yeah.
And then Ponting on 30. So Kohli's got 50. Tendulkar ended up with 49.
Yeah.
Sharma's got 31 and Ponting's on 30. So, I mean, he's nearly doubled Ponting.
Wow.
And he's still got plenty. I don't know how old he is. You'd think he's got a bit of time left if he's still just so he must be averaging 120 now in this series.
In the World Cup, right? Yeah.
The World Cup.
Yep.
And the question is, can anyone stop India? Because India has not lost this year.
Yeah, they're playing in their backyard. They're probably
India.
loving it. Yeah,
loving it. And the only team, sorry, no other team other than Australia has beaten India in India this year.
Yep.
So you got a chance here. I'm saying there's a chance.
Yeah. There's always a chance. That's why sport's a thing.
So Australia lost their first 2 matches. Now they've won 8 straight.
Yeah, because I was looking at you know how when you type into Google like World Cup and you click on, you just get the full breakdown on Google. It just had a bunch of ticks. It looked like we haven't lost a game in the whole series. So we have lost games in the series?
We lost to South Africa in one of the first 2 games.
Yep, got pumped.
Which meant if it got rained out, and then they have a backup day ready to go when Australia played South Africa in the semi. If that got rained out and then the backup day gets rained out, South Africa were higher on the standings. They had a better record coming in, so they would have gone through. But also, it makes sense because South Africa did beat Australia last time they played, so that seems fair.
It's good. It looks like there's been some really close games.
Yeah, I haven't really been paying too much attention, but I know there must be small grounds or they're just getting really good at batting because India scored nearly 400 against New Zealand in the semi. And New Zealand made 327, got bowled out for 327, which seems like a pretty good effort.
India scored 410 against the Netherlands, 400 against New Zealand. Well, Glenn Maxwell can hit 200 on his own.
He got out for a duck or one or something.
Yeah.
I told you he was rubbish.
Yeah, man.
Lucky bastard. I saw Biden shaking hands with Xi.
Yeah, they're chatting, having a chat.
Good old chat. Good old chinwag. That's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, look, it's the way that we talk about it. They'll go like, oh, it's their first chat since rocky relations began. You're like, good, that's fine. Chat.
I remember the US was quite upset about that hot air, that balloon that got sent over the US. Remember that spy balloon?
Multiple.
Were there multiple? Were there? It was back in February.
Yeah.
And then Pelosi visited Taiwan last year as well. Apparently there are a couple of the sticking points. At least the media like to point that out.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Love it.
Apparently when they met, they were talking about fentanyl trafficking.
That was one of their things, yes.
I've talked about that with Dr. Phil before, a little Dr. Phil short.
Yeah.
Apparently all fentanyl, I believe it's in the world, or at least the stuff that's getting trafficked to the US is made in China.
Interesting.
It comes through Mexico though. So its origin is Chinese, but then they get it into Mexico and then it goes, the border's porous as fuck. They need that wall up and running.
Jesus.
Hey, I got their menu for the working lunch. Do you want to hear their menu? This is
yeah. Please.
Tell me what you think if you'd enjoy this. There's a herb ricotta.
Is this
ravioli.
the entree?
Well, this is just the order that it was presented.
Okay, so obviously I have no idea how meals work. But is this like a 4-course meal?
It looks like there's 8 or 9 courses.
There's so many courses. Why are they eating so much? Back to work.
There's a lot of work to be done. I mean, they're talking about Gaza, Ukraine, international trade, fentanyl trafficking.
Yeah, what are we eating?
Taiwan.
Yeah. Blah. All that.
Politics bullshit. Herb ricotta ravioli.
Yes.
Artichoke crisps. Have you ever had an artichoke crisp?
Is that like a chip?
Yeah, I've never had. I didn't know you could make a crisp out of artichoke, but you could make a crisp out of a poo patty, really, I believe.
Okay, great.
Tarragon roasted heritage chicken.
Heritage chick?
Heritage chicken. Is that just an old chicken?
Yes. Yes, famously, they have to be aged.
I think tarragon's a spice. So an old chicken. Carolina gold rice pilaf.
Wow, that does sound nice.
Is it a pilaf or pilay? Pilaf. Seems like a dumb word. I don't know what a pilaf is.
Yeah.
Okay, a pilaf. Oh, it's a rice. Oh, palau. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, they ate that. Charred broccolini and Brussels sprouts.
And you have to eat all of these.
You have to at least look at them and pretend.
Do you?
Well, it's rude not to at least, look at the food, right? So you'd observe, maybe have a sniff.
Yeah. And everyone's getting fed.
Well, I think it's a pretty big delegation, right? It's a bit of a party. You got all the hangers.
Massive working lunch.
almond meringue cake.
Almond what?
Meringue cake.
Okay, so we're at dessert.
Yeah, so we are, and there's quite a few desserts actually. Praline buttercream. That sounds nice. Concord grape sauce.
Bloody hell.
So
that sounds pretty wanky, doesn't it?
That's how the 1% live. Or not even the 1%. They're like the
Concord lava sauce. What are you talking about?
Grape sauce. Yeah,
grape sauce. Yeah. Anything else for dessert? Coffee?
Oh, there'll be a bit of coffee had, I'm sure.
Yeah, coffee.
So no agreement signed, no big announcements.
Right. Great lunch.
Just a chinwag.
Well, they said they're trying their best to resume normal relations, which I guess is positive.
Yeah, had a nice lunch they had. That will get them off to a good start. So I think we can say the US-China
full bellies,
can be put
full
to bed
bellies,
now.
and ready to rock now. You know, I've had a feed. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Look, before China enters into a nuclear war, I'm sure she will think about the time that they had herbed ricotta ravioli and
the
artichoke
broccolinis.
Crisps and thought,
yes.
The broccoli, and thinks, mate, that praline buttercream though, let's spare them because I can't get Concord grape sauce
and the meringues
like I did at the White House.
Yep.
Or wherever they met.
Yeah. I like that we're like talking about it like the Americans poured over the menu. Is it even being held in America?
Oh, it was in San Francisco.
Okay.
A historic estate near San Francisco.
Okay.
Which surprised me, actually. Now that you say it, I would have thought it would be a neutral location. So in between,
it probably travels around. It's one of those. Is it APEC or OPEC or BLAPEC? I'm not sure.
A PEC of some.
It's one
description.
Of the PECs.
Yeah. Oh, but that really put my anxiousness at rest, knowing that they had a meal, because it's nice. It's nice that they've had a meal. It's been a while.
Yes, you got to have meals.
Keep them full. And I've always thought getting together is the best way of resolving differences, even if you don't make any agreements or announcements or you don't agree anything. Just looking at him, seeing that he's a person,
having the talk.
Yeah, that they're both people. You might even see she, some kind of emotion like embarrassment.
You might see a smile.
You might see a smile.
You might smile.
You might smile at each other.
Wow.
And it's powerful.
That is powerful.
So just having a smile at each other could even it's something, right?
It's a start, isn't it? It's a good start. It's better than a frown start.
I'm looking forward to getting another camera like we talked about so I can actually see your face. Speaking of smiling.
Yes, we'll do that.
I've been talking about it for a while, but I just haven't had enough time to come over. I'm too fishy at the moment.
Yeah, look, you've got goals and ambitions. To be the fish, to be the biggest fish you can be.
Yeah. I felt good in the pool today, actually. I dialed down the distance just a little bit. So it's a big swim for me. It's in the top. It's probably about the 5th biggest swim I've ever done. But it was less than last week, which ruined me.
Yeah. So are you finding your limitations, or are you purposefully exceeding them?
Well, the idea is what you do is you want to stretch yourself so the body gets overwhelmed, and then you bring it back. You bring it back a little bit, give yourself a chance to recover, and then you stretch it a bit more. But if you drew a line, if you graphed it and drew a line through it, there's a general trend upwards. But it's kind of like spiking. It's almost like the stock market where it's over 5 years, it always goes up. But there's peaks and troughs but the general trend is always up. That's sort of what I'm trying to do.
And do you have data on this?
Well, Strava records all my data.
Exactly. So you can analyze the data, whereas before you'd have to sort of just gauge it based off how you felt.
Exactly. And you got your time per 100 meters. So you can see that my general speed is ever increasing, but I'm not even trying.
Do you think it provides a certain level of expectation of for accountability on you?
Yeah, it does, because you can see if you're having a poor month.
Yeah. And does it tell you you're being lazy and stuff? Does it give you?
It doesn't say that. But
wow. What does it say then?
It doesn't expressly, but implicitly tells you if
like
you're being lazy.
Like a Nintendo Wii asks you, "Do you want to go outside for a bit? You've been playing for an hour." You're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, my watch gives me move notifications.
What?
Tells me to move.
What?
Tells me that I've been too sedentary for if I don't do anything for about 2 hours.
They say sentry.
Sedentary.
Oh, I thought it was sentry, like a sentry, like a guard.
Stop guarding.
As in you're standing still, you're not doing anything. Move.
They're probably related words, to tell you the truth, but sedentary. So at work, I'm always getting move notifications. And then once I start moving, like I walk to the bus or something, that says, "You've moved, well done." Something like that.
Wow. I love that in the future, we look down at our watches. Well, I was walking to the bus, looked at my watch, it said I was moving. Brilliant.
The saddest thing is I do a 5K swim, and then it's not smart enough yet to detect that you've worked hard in the morning. You probably need a bit of relaxation time.
It's like, move.
Tells you to move, and you're like,
do something.
Mate, I've been swimming all morning. I don't need to move.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
I actually ordered a new watch. So I've had this Garmin watch for about 5 years. 4 or 5 years. It's been fantastic. Smart watches are the way forward, seriously. But I've got, I just went all out because I wanted a watch that works in open water. This watch only does laps in a pool. But
smart watches, though. When do you take it off?
Oh, I accidentally charged it last night and fell asleep, and I didn't get any of my sleep data, and I was gutted when I woke up.
You wear it when you're asleep as well?
Yeah.
When does it charge?
Oh, it charges in about 20, 30 minutes. Every now and then I'll take it off before work or something like that.
But you wear it otherwise?
Oh, always. I got the Sleep Savant badge the other day because I 30 consecutive nights of sleep data recorded. And so it feeds out, it churns out all these stupid statistics like your body battery.
Oh my God.
And so it gives you a score out of 100 for how much body battery you have, whatever that means.
So how does that work?
It's something to do with heart rate variability. So when you're working hard.
So if I put your watch on for an afternoon, it'll fuck your data, but it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be a little confused because I think you would have a higher resting heart rate than me, only because the fitter you are generally, the lower resting heart rate you have.
Right, and you're fitter than me?
Well, the data would suggest I am.
Really?
Just from what
So
I
if it was
understand.
you and me and it was a 7K swim and you had to bet on one of us, you'd bet on you.
Well, I think that my heart has been stressed more in its lifetime.
Right.
Therefore, its capacity to work hard, it's a bit more efficient. So,
what about if it was a push-up contest?
I think I'd have you covered.
Right.
But my wife actually has to do some health assessments for people. She's doing this, like a course for like a gym. I don't know what you call it. What do you call the course? It's so you can like be a gym person. I don't know what it is. A certificate in personal training. That's it.
Yeah.
And she has to do a bunch of health assessments on people. So, if you're putting your hand up.
Let's get assessed.
One of the things you have to do is many push-ups as you can in a minute.
Yes, I already know the answer.
Was it 7, 8?
I think it was 4.
Man, you
7.
have so much.
Jeez, that would have been good.
You would have so much capacity
Potential
for improvement. Yeah, so much potential.
Yeah.
Because you could. I'd like to know what your resting heart rate is actually, because I'm buying this new watch. I'm going to pop this one on you for a while afterwards.
What kind of watch is it?
It's a black brown thing. It's a Garmin watch. It's a Forerunner 245 if you want to look it up.
But it connects to what, my phone?
Yeah, it'll connect to your phone. It'll start sending all this data to China. It's probably being hoovered up somewhere.
Yep, great. Yeah, I'll wear a watch. I'll see what's going on, because I've got no one or nothing. Like, you've got a watch that tells you to move. I've got a Nintendo Switch that tells me to take a break occasionally, which is nice. It shows a little picture of the nice day outside and says, "You've been playing for an hour. Do you want to stop?"
And it has a picture of the day outside.
Yeah, as in it's got a picture of a lounge room, but you can see outside that the sun's out.
And it's just a digital picture. It's not reality.
It's just a painting thing. It's just saying, fuck off. Go outside for a bit and then come back and play golf or whatever you're doing.
Now, this will be interesting because it was nice for me getting feedback about my sleep. I stopped drinking before I went to bed because it was fucking with my sleep data. Because you can see that your body doesn't recover if you've had a beer or two before bed. And so your body batteries cook the next day. And it's doing all this just through heart rate variability. So you know that the alcohol is having a physical effect on your body. Whereas I didn't have that feedback before, because you just go to sleep and you don't think anything of it the next day.
Isn't moderation important though as well?
I had a beer last night. I still have beers. It's just it cut out. It's because I had that direct feedback. I thought about it. I just
don't want us to sacrifice anything for the sake of health data.
No.
You
can sacrifice whatever you want to sacrifice at the end of the
day.
That's
true. But if you're like, man, my body battery, how red can it go? Like, have you tested the other side?
It only gets down to 5. I get down to 0. I get down to 5 all the time. That's its bottom lining. It bottoms out at 5 for some reason.
5 what? 5%?
Units of 5 out of 100.
Oh, that is 5%.
I'll probably get 5. I'll probably get 5 tonight because I cooked myself today with the swim.
Right.
I'm on 41 at the moment.
Oh, so the battery's over the course of the day.
Yeah, so it gets worn out. And it tells you if you have
You're at 40% now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know what it means. Like, sometimes if I have a huge night, if I have a huge Saturday night, the thing will only get to 15 when I wake up. And you see it's all this red. It's all this stress. They call it stress and heart rate.
I don't like that. That would just make me more stressed out.
I know. It's funny. Sometimes you don't know how you feel until you check your app and you're like, oh, my body battery's 75. Like, I'm feeling great.
Oh, no. This is like really positive brainwashing stuff.
And other times it's bad and you're just like, I need to get to bed. My body battery's low.
I was talking to my dad last night and he said that Fat Cat is a fraud.
I'm listening.
So 7:30, if you were alive in Australia in the 90s, 80s, 2000s, I don't know when they got rid of the bedtime bit. I'm pretty sure they still do it, but it's like around 7:30, Fat Cat would go to bed, and that was an indication to all the children of Australia to go to bed as well, so your parents can, I don't know, bone or whatever, right?
All that good stuff, yeah.
Or watch a film that isn't The Little Mermaid or Aladdin again for the 10 billionth time or whatever, right? Go to bed, kids, all right? But my dad said that all the kids figured out that, like, if you watch a Fat Cat, when he goes to bed, all he does is cover his eyes with his hands.
Oh, because he doesn't have the ability to close them, does he?
Well, he's just, he's a he's a puppet. Yeah. Or he's just in a mascot suit. So he covered his eyes. So all the kids were saying, or maybe just my dad, they're like, he's a fraud. Like, this is bullshit. He's not really sleeping. Yes, it's 7:30, but he ain't asleep.
He's a real shyster. Very fraudulent.
So the kids would then stay up because they're like, he's talking shit. Like, he's not really asleep.
I didn't have the capacity to think that deeply about Fat Cat.
Yeah, no, but apparently he just covers his eyes, mate.
Look, I'm not happy.
And what I'm saying is that this was an early attempt at brainwashing children into going to bed. It's a good thing. It's good brainwashing. Go to bed. It's a great idea. But these apps that you have to check to see how you're feeling. Wow, that's the new Fat Cat.
Some people get really addicted to the step count. So mine has a variable step count. It's got a goal. It sets a goal each day of how many steps you should take.
And what's yours usually?
Mine's quite low. Mine's around 10,000.
Yeah.
If you can set a baseline, I think when you get the watch originally, it just has
mine's around 13,000, 14,000.
Yeah, you would do a few steps. I do. So mine goes up. Like my goal today is 10,500. If I exceed the goal, it will go up the next day because it matches where you're at. It's and if I keep failing to meet the goal, it will bring the goal down to be something more achievable.
Right.
But I did 5Ks of swimming this morning, but I didn't get many steps for it because obviously it's a different motion. It doesn't really seem to get set, which is unfortunate because I will not meet my step goal today. So I'll feel I don't actually feel like this, but there's potential for me to feel lazy because I have not reached the goal.
Or even if you just look back on the data 20 days from now and you go, Jesus, I had a bad day that Saturday, but really you had a 7K swim, all the rest.
And it's the
Surely
same thing
it's
with
incorporating all that into...
No, it doesn't. If you go for a bike ride, you do a 100-kilometer bike ride, you get off the bike, you've done 500 steps for the day.
And it's like, move, do some steps, move.
It still records the activity. It knows that, like, I've got pool swimming at the top of my app. Done that.
Yep. Does it talk?
No, it doesn't talk. I do really like the data. But sorry, what I was saying is apparently some people get, like everyone, can get a little bit weird about it. Some people will not go to bed until they've reached their step goal because they have this weird thing about achieving the goal.
Yeah, they're having all the ticks for the day.
Yeah.
Tick, 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 tick. Yes, I did it. I've completed the day. Like a game. I can understand that. You can turn it into a video game in your head. Yep.
Yeah. So some people get a little bit addicted to actually achieving the goal to the point that they're actually missing out on sleep or something else that maybe they should be doing because they're a little bit too hard focused on the step goal.
No, I think I think that it's look. There's nothing healthier than focusing on health. I completely understand that,
but to a point.
But if the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, you're trying to satisfy the health app for today. That's all I care about. Make sure the health app's happy before I go to sleep, so that I can wake up and have good sleep data.
What's the point?
Yeah, I'm going to make a watch. It's a similar watch to the Garmin watch, but it tracks. It only tracks recreation.
Oh yeah.
It only tracks things that give you enjoyment, which could be exercise for you. I assume it is because you wouldn't be doing it so much if you hated it. But it only tracks passive or active recreation.
Tells you how many ice cream sundaes you've had for the week.
Yeah, and it goes, man, you haven't had enough ice cream sundaes this week. You need to get at least 2 more ice creams in, you know? You haven't reached your video game playing time for the day yet.
TV stats.
Play the game.
You could feed it into your YouTube, like all your
you haven't
the other
downloaded
apps
enough
could talk
data.
to it.
You haven't watched enough YouTube videos today. Watch another one, please.
It could probably tell you how good your wank was.
Yeah, it'll rate that.
It'll take into account time, heart rate, stress levels, heart rate variability, VO2 levels.
Yes.
Calories burned.
Yes. Wait, you've turned it into a health app.
Yeah. I wonder what other recreational things. Yeah, really anything.
Oh, movies watched.
I wonder where it will go, how invasive this stuff will get, because it will basically be a health app with. It will start with the health app.
It'll be a life app.
Yeah, but it will start getting broader.
Life app.
Do you want us to take your YouTube data into account? So it can know how much time is, and Netflix, maybe you can package together all the entertainment apps and go, oh, we know what entertainment apps are.
Yeah. Or ultimately one day when the company says, are you okay if we just download your brain? And you go, yes.
So, yeah, I got the Forerunner 965, which is apparently the premium running watch on the market.
Oh, boy.
I don't really know exactly what it does, but I just went straight for apparently it's quite good. I've heard good things about it.
Awesome.
And with Booper as well, so I got 20% off. And it's a pretty expensive watch. So 20% of a bit of money is also a bit of money.
Yeah, that's true.
I was pretty happy with that.
And this will give you 5 years.
Yeah, I reckon at least. Because I think smartwatches have actually come quite far. I wouldn't say this was the first generation of smartwatches. I think were pretty crummy, maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little bit less than that. And then they got pretty good. Garmin started coming out with some pretty good ones. I've got one that I think is I'll be able to sell this still online, even though it's 5 years old. It's decent.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Love that.
Yeah, and so the World Cup overlaps with the League of Legends final as well.
But you're not watching it?
No, I'm not. So I'm holding off, yeah. So we're going to watch it the next Sunday.
Yeah, maybe watch the cricket, but don't watch the leagues.
Also overlaps with Coldplay. I know some people
Coldplay are in town. Yep.
So one of them's tonight.
Yes, tonight and tomorrow night.
And so is that at Optus or is it?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be huge.
Sold out. 56,000, whatever it is.
Oh, so they're doing the full circular thing, not doing some kind of Robbie Williams like half.
Oh, I have no idea, actually. That's a good point.
Well, even if they cut off a third of it and have like the stage at one end, then you still have the oval that you can jam people onto. So it probably would be 50,000 anyway.
True. That would be awesome.
Have they had any big concerts there?
Yeah.
Who have we had at Optus Stadium?
Fuck, who opened it?
Ed Sheeran had 73,000.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran's a big one, I guess. Who was the opener?
Well, it said just on this Google search said its official opening and public open day had 110,000.
Yeah.
So what, do people just went there to file through just to look at it? Was there something happening?
That's exactly what happened.
110,000 people went just to look at it?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was just finished.
Okay, so Ed Sheeran had 73,000. Next up on the list, 61,000 for Wallabies
Taylor
defeating
Swift
All Blacks.
performed at the venue in 2018.
Does it have an attendance?
Nah.
And 61,000 for Melbourne beating Western Bulldogs. Oh, the granny. The COVID granny.
Oh, the granny. Huge.
Forgot about that.
So Ed Sheeran, Eminem, 60,000.
Nice.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, 51,000. Taylor Swift, 50,000. U2, Queen, Nitro Circus. That's all the entertainment that's been there.
Coldplay breaks
that's the top 10
record.
That's the top 10.
Oh, they just had a show in Kaohsiung. obviously Southeast Asia or something, 85,000. But that obviously doesn't count because it's not Optus.
They're going to do 2 shows with that, so they'll probably do 60,000 a show, so that'll be 120,000 ish for Coldplay, I imagine.
Scientists warn Coldplay fans to dust off face masks.
Yep.
So someone from UWA has recommended anyone attending the concert should wear a mask, preferably an N95. I've seen a lot of masks recently. So is there a wave going on? There must be a wave going on.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. I see a lot of masks as well.
Yeah, interesting. I haven't heard of anyone, but there must be.
But it always weirds me out when I see people who they probably catch public transport like yourself. Mm-hmm. And they're off the bus now. They're walking home from the bus stop and they're still wearing the mask. And I'm like, but you're in the open air. Like,
I remember going for a run with a mask on once because that was the recommendation.
The rules. I remember the early days when I would be driving home or something from the shops, which was the only place we were allowed to go. And, you'd have the windows up in the car because you just thought it was just fucking out there. That's just how the feeling was at that point.
Yeah. I think the wife's got home from the podiatrist.
Nice.
I've had a thought the other day that I'm really good, if I do say so myself. I'm very good at eating hot food.
Great.
We should get some spicy hot, just hot, temperature hot.
Like burning hands hot.
Yeah. I'm very good at eating hot food.
Okay.
Just something I've realised because the wife will just burn herself all the time. Don't know how she does it. I don't know if she just doesn't have the technique I do. Or
maybe when you're eating it?
When I'm eating it, yeah. Hash browns. Whatever it is. Soup.
Have you ever burnt the roof of your mouth with like pizza?
I have. Look, I'm not saying I'm infallible.
Well, I don't think that's the...
But I see people
just not burned. Very flammable.
I'm not very flammable, no. I'm almost a fire retard.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. I was just about the Optus outage last week, just to cap that off.
Yes.
I heard we were talking about the triple O calls not working.
Yep.
Which was pretty worrying. 228 didn't go through.
Yeah.
That's pretty terrifying because I've never called triple O. Actually, maybe once I've called triple O.
Well, accidentally, like a lot.
Have you?
Yeah, accidentally.
What do you mean accidentally? How many times have you called triple O?
So, like, if you press a certain combination of buttons on your phone too many times, kind of like sticky keys on a keyboard, you ever had sticky keys come up and you're like, what the fuck is that? All you've done is press shift a lot of times in a row.
Yeah.
And it does this thing, it performs a function. And this one is, it's the emergency call shortcut on your phone. If you like tap the power button a bunch of times, I'm sure it will work as well. And because my phone's been particularly like shit since I bought it, sometimes I'll press to turn it on and it just won't. So I'll press it again and then it will. And then I'll press it again because I didn't see it come on and then boom.
And it just emergency services as wanting to contact, straight to the top. Yeah, he wants him. Well, maybe they just go, oh, this guy is clearly not having, he just clearly doesn't know what's going on. Something's wrong with this man.
I'm going to get my number blocked. They're going to be like, oh my God, this guy keeps pocket dialing us. Just block it.
Oh, it's a bit different from a landline though, because you can't really accidentally call 000 on a landline.
No, but you're right. Calling 000 and needing it and not being able to get through, that would be terrifying.
And some people may have just tried calling 000 just because they heard it didn't work. And they
thought, a prank or something.
Yeah, because, someone goes, 000 calls from Optus landlines aren't going through. They'll go, that's the rumour, right?
I don't think you'd test it.
If you did prank 000, would someone turn up at your house?
Probably, yeah.
Bit of a welfare check?
Yeah, probably.
I would hope so. Have you ever thought about someone like? Have you ever thought about a house invasion?
Of course.
I'd be completely caught off guard.
Wow, yeah, that's the idea.
So what do? Do you find your phone? Because when I go to bed, I'm just walking around nude, right? So let's say someone.
Well, you've got your watch on, so you're good.
My watch actually does emergency incident detection. So if I stop really fast on my bike or something, I then start, like the other day, I was doing this Mach 200 ride. I stopped really fast, and then I started helping someone pump up their brake. So I had a bit of a wanking motion.
And it thought you stacked it.
Yeah, it thought I was in trouble. And it comes up saying incident detected.
Yeah.
And it starts counting down, and it sends emails and messages to my close contacts, being my parents and my spouse.
What did it say?
It sends them my GPS location and says that incident's been detected. Needs help or something.
Bloody hell.
So the watch does a bit.
It's kind of scary.
I always tell my parents that this thing has gone off twice by accident. So don't instantly start panicking. Like, don't call the Coast Guard.
Panic! But do you want them to give you a buzz?
Yeah, give me a buzz. If you can't get in contact with me, or call the wife, see what she thinks about where I am, what I'm doing. If things start to seem unusual, then maybe.
If you're having an incident every weekend, sooner or later they're going to stop checking those emails.
Yeah, the boy who cried wolf.
Exactly. I think that's all we got time for. Is that true?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done with it.
All right. Yep. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, mate.
And to the listeners, enjoy the rest of their day. And we'll be here next time.